Welcome back to the audio guide from Pennsylvania Medical Marijuana Cards. Today, we are focusing on HIV and AIDS, a landscape that looks radically different today than it did decades ago, thanks to modern antiretroviral therapy. While modern medicine has transformed HIV into a manageable chronic condition, patients still frequently face a heavy day-to-day burden from chronic symptoms.
That is exactly why Pennsylvania included positive status for HIV and AIDS as a founding qualifying condition under Act 16. As we highlight at PennsylvaniaMarijuanaCards.com, the law contains a major statutory nuance. The qualifying condition is the Serostatus itself. This means a patient qualifies immediately upon diagnosis. There is no CD4 count threshold, no requirement to have progressed to advanced illness, and no requirement that other medications fail first.
That is an incredibly patient-friendly design. Let's dive into the clinical evidence for the symptoms these individuals face, starting with HIV-related peripheral neuropathy. Your guide calls this the absolute strongest evidence base for cannabis in this population. What do the clinical trials show?
The data here is exceptionally strong. Landmark randomized controlled trials published in Neurology and the Journal of Neuroimmune Pharmacology by researchers like Dr. Abrams and Dr. Ellis proved that inhaled THC significantly outperforms conventional pain medications. In fact, a major JAMA systematic review revealed that out of all tested therapies for HIV neuropathic pain, only cannabis and high-dose topical capsaicin successfully beat out the placebo. Standard nerve pills routinely failed.
That is a massive validation for patients dealing with burning and shooting nerve pain in their feet and legs. But before we discuss dispensary products for appetite and wasting, your guide highlights a critical pharmaceutical option that patients can access right now without an MMJ card. Tell us about Dronabinol.
This is a huge piece of clinical education. Dronabinol, which is synthetic oral THC, has been FDA-approved since 1985 specifically for AIDS-related anorexia and weight loss. It can be prescribed by any licensed doctor and is often covered by standard health insurance. We always advise patients to discuss Dronabinol with their primary infectious disease specialist first, before paying out of pocket for dispensary cannabis.
That is incredibly honest advice. Now, let's tackle the most important clinical section of this guide: how cannabis interacts with a patient's daily antiretroviral therapy, or ART. Let's start with the good news regarding first-line backbones, like Biktarvy or Triumeq.
Right. The most widely prescribed modern regimens belong to a class called Integrase Inhibitors, or INSTIs. Drugs like dolutegravir and Biktarvy are processed primarily by the UGT pathway, rather than the cytochrome P450 system. Because of this, the University of Liverpool HIV drug interactions database explicitly rates these combinations as a low interaction risk. It is a massive relief for the majority of patients today.
But the risk level changes dramatically if a patient is on an older or more complex regimen, specifically protease inhibitors that use pharmacokinetic boosting agents like ritonavir or cobicistat. What happens there?
Those boosting agents are potent CYP3A4 inhibitors designed to intentionally slow down drug metabolism. Unfortunately, they do the exact same thing to cannabis. If you mix cannabis with a boosted regimen, it can dangerously spike THC and CBD levels in your blood, leading to severe sedation, altered psychoactive states, or unexpected drops in blood pressure. Conversely, older non-nucleoside drugs like efavirenz act as enzyme inducers, which can burn through cannabis so fast that you barely feel the therapeutic effects.
Incredible. This completely underscores why patients must have an open, transparent dialogue with their medical providers. How should someone safely navigate product selection at a PA dispensary based on these interaction profiles?
For nerve pain, low-dose vaporizable dry leaf or vapor cartridges offer the closest delivery mechanism to the successful clinical trials, while oral tinctures provide longer-lasting relief. If you are on a boosted protease inhibitor regimen, the golden clinical rule is to start at a fraction of a standard dose and titrate upward with extreme caution. And above all, never disrupt your antiretroviral adherence schedule. Cannabis is a tool to manage side effects, never a replacement for your viral suppression therapy.
Perfect. So if an individual living with HIV is ready to safely obtain their state medical certification through our telehealth clinic, what are the next steps?
We make the validation process completely remote and secure. Step 1 is completing our 3-minute pre-qualification form at PennsylvaniaMarijuanaCards.com. Step 2 is your telehealth evaluation via video from home. You'll consult directly with a registered state physician, like Dr. Jonathan Chance Miller, whose active clinical credentials and NPI number are openly displayed on our site. You'll just need a basic medical document or lab report confirming your diagnosis and your current ART medication list.
And your practice stands firmly behind that exact same protective medical standard. If for any reason the doctor reviews their treatment regimen and determines cannabis isn't a safe fit, there is zero financial penalty.
Absolutely. If our physicians determine that cannabis poses an unsafe drug interaction risk alongside your boosted medications, or if you don't meet the state's criteria, your $159 evaluation fee is fully and instantly refunded. If you are approved, Step 3 is automatic. We file your state certification the very same day. We also help patients apply for state registration fee waivers if they are enrolled in assistance programs like SNAP, Medicaid, or WIC.
Comprehensive pharmacological education, strict safety monitoring, and absolutely zero financial risk. An invaluable resource for the HIV community in Pennsylvania.
Thank you. If you are ready to explore medically guided, risk-free symptom relief for neuropathic pain, nausea, or appetite loss, visit PennsylvaniaMarijuanaCards.com. Fill out the form at the top of our page and let our compassionate care team guide you safely through the program.
Book your telehealth consultation today at PennsylvaniaMarijuanaCards.com. Thank you for listening and take care.